coming out thinner than I hoped. So I think I'm gonna downgrade my spindle. It's a good size though. We'll see. I need a hand block. That shit is awesome. I think I'm gonna make my spindle a bit thinner. Are we recording? Oh yes we are. Alright. Try to make it notch free now. sun is starting to hit this spot. It's becoming a bit too warm for us. So we'll soon move on to a little bit more of a shady place with even ground. So I'm doing the firebow actually to check out how this knife is gonna perform in the task of preparation. To use the fat part or the thin part. I think I'm gonna use the thin part, and the fat part will be the spindle side for the hand block. In all honesty, I haven't done the firebow in quite some years, so some practice time was due. Spindle done. I chose the thinner part at the bottom, so as the spindle gets smaller, it gets wider. Because unfortunately my block turned out a bit thinner than I anticipated. Preferably you have it like thumb thick. This is like pinky size to me. So we'll see if this is gonna be even remotely good, otherwise I might make a new one. But again, this is just for practice and fun. I'm gonna drill on this side, my foot will be here. Alright. Found a nice chunk of fat wood. Like one of the better founds in this area ever. That's gonna be my heart block, my hand block. I'm sorry, I'm losing all the terminology. Now for the boring part. This piece is from a fresh fallen tree, so I don't want to take off the bark. My hands are already getting sticky from I wanted to use a fresh piece for a hand block, not realizing or not remembering that this will result in some very sticky hands. I'm not up for that right now. Alright, let me show you something pretty damn neat that I'm proud of. As you figure by now, we're checking out the knife from Malanika that I ordered 14 months ago, and there are some interesting features on the sheet itself. As you see, it's not your typical standard dangler. I asked him to do something very special with it. That's to include my fire steel on the belt loop, and to have the belt loop as a quick release that I can also click off here and put it on a backpack if I want to. And then I can carry the knife as a neck knife. So this neck rope, put it over the head. So now I got a neck knife. Not only that, but I made sure I have enough rope on there so I can take it off and do the firebow. So you gotta think multifunctional with this kind of stuff. It has to suit multiple purposes, and that will make life very, very easy. I'm practicing bushcraft. Apate, here we go. Yeah, but you have a fire steel, why not use it? I used that one already yesterday. Today is the day for firebow practice, and I'm not here to try to make fire with the firebow. In all honesty, it's the beginning of the season. It's the beginning of June, which means everything is green. There's not a lot of dry stuff around, and my goal is just to produce a coal today, so that's what I'm gonna focus on. Actually, the real goal is just to play around with the knife to see how carving goes. So stay tuned. Now back to the boring part. The rope will stretch in the beginning. It's a virgin rope. Oh, launchy. Oh, my poor baby is getting old. 14 years of age. Still going with me on adventures, eh? First I'm gonna try to get as much stretch out of it as possible. Now, let's see what would be wise. I don't want to put a notch in this branch. Then again, I'm gonna get the sticky shit on there. So what I'm thinking of doing, just a good old-fashioned weave. Here we go. Yeah, Lonnie, I know, baby. There we go. Whoop, whoop, whoop. That side down. Oh, that feels great. Oh, nice. I will have to work out elasticity, but let's see if we can burn a bloody hole in this. So, hand block, heart block, spindle, let's go. Let's sit in between the blueberries. That will not go. Bear with me, guys. It's been some time. Ah. Now comes the moment for modifications and modifications. You have to get the knife exactly in there, otherwise it will not go. So please, Daddy-o, stay with me. Alright, that's going. So now we're just gonna burn it in. Alright. Now we know how deep the notch is gonna be. So now back to the fun part. I'm honestly surprised how well the burning in part went. But that's only the beginning. Now we can fuck it all up. Oh, massage. Now we can fuck it all up, or we'll be successful. Okay, one knife safety tip. Never, when you push down like this, have the knife angled or work towards your hand. So downwards, okay, but never change the angle towards you. Too many times I see people putting pressure like this, and that is just not safe. If you want to do that, you grab a little bit higher. You can use all your fingers to do that. And no kidding, I forgot to tape it down, but accidents happen quickly and can be severe. Now is a good moment to introduce the disclaimer. I will not be held responsible for you buying a new knife and getting into a fight with your wife about it. You have enough knives, and if you don't, you do what you want. This is not a commercial video. This is just me playing around. I ordered this knife, like I said, 14 months ago. That's the patience you must have when you order a custom blade. I ordered it from Malanika. Ooh, saw that? That was sketchy as fuck. And I wanted to have one knife for the absolute super steel. Now, I haven't done this in a long time, and I noticed that I'm using quite a lot of force doing it. So I want to be really clean and precise. So I'm going to use less strength, work a bit more methodical. And so I got the Magnacut version. That actually became my choice because I have a friend who is completely wowed about Magnacut, and he's been yelling at me for a few years now, get you a Magnacut. So then I bought Benchmade Osborne in Magnacut. And it's a pocket knife, you know, like it's hard to compare it. Like, I'm a fixed blade kind of guy. My pocket knives are nice to have on me, but I wouldn't do any wood carving or anything, so I didn't have a clean perspective of it. And I always wanted to have a Puukko with birch bark handle, and I must say, oh, that's comfortable. That is lovely, Love it. Wow, the rings on this wood, they are particularly tight. It's actually surprisingly hard wood. Anyways, so I wanted a really traditional looking blade, but with an edge that stays for a long time. Hence a custom Malanika Puuko. And I can tell you right off the bat, when it comes from him, this thing is not just sharp, this thing can split fucking atoms. It is the sharpest knife I ever had straight out of the box. And honestly, I fucked it up later on after playing around with it. I stropped it with my classical compound, and I actually became duller. And the reason for that is this is a super steel. You need actually diamond compound, and I don't have that shit. Like, I lost my job a year ago, my dream job at the bushcraft shop, and yeah, hard economical times for everyone, bro. And therefore I ordered the knife back then when I was still working. Thank God I did a good down payment at the time, because otherwise I would not be able to afford it now. But all that being said, I don't have that compound. Also, I don't have Japanese stones that goes up to 1,000, 6,000 grit. So because of this knife now, I need to upgrade my sharpening kit. And I'm a bush guy. Like, I carry Volkneven DC4, CC4 stone, and that is actually how I do it in the bush. So I have to reconsider my sharpening setup. Okay, look, this is what I got so far. I think the notch should be a little bit wider though, but let's see how she will collect first, and then we can make some modifications on the go. The knife is feeling really nice. I like it. This thing is very precise, very clean. This really thin blade really allows you to make very clean cuts, and she wants to dive into the wood. It's unbelievable. She's a biter. Already decided it's a she. For all the old gender neutral pussies out there, that's what she identifies as. Oh wow, that's a very clean cut. I like that. Oh, that was the fun part. Let's see if we can produce some dust. If I'm gonna have calls from the first go, I'm gonna be very surprised, because it's been many years, but apparently I haven't forgotten how this goes. So let's see. Okay, the camera is in the way. So, here we go. Let's see. collecting, but not enough I see already. Oh yeah, there we go. Oh, god damn it. That's a bad moment for my notch to come undone. So as you can see, it is collecting. But the nut came undone. Bastard. Reset, try again. Alright, let's give it another go. Foot in position. I'm gonna leave the dust I've collected. Set it in. Oh, got more tension now. A sec. Here we go. Too much dust is collecting on this side. I'm gonna fix that first. As you can see, this could have been a bit better. Too much dust on the side, so back to carving. Collect the dust out. Always good to have. Now I understand that for most people this video is way too long, and honestly I don't really care. Oh, I got blueberries on my hand. Because I enjoy the long videos. You need to hear the birds in the background. Enjoy the vibe. So I'm just gonna widen the notch a little bit. This will allow for easier accumulation of the dust. You don't want to go too deep, because then the spindle might jump out. And it works great if you work on the corners and then focus on the middle part. Get it nice and smooth. You want the inside really to have no wood fiber sticking free, because they will catch the coal in a weird way and then get in the way of it. So that was that. Liking the knife so far, but I did spend €400 on it, so it would be really sad if I wouldn't be happy. For now, the block is looking quite okay. My spindle is performing excellent. So I do see I have some friction up here of my hand block. If I can limit that, that would be nicer, but I don't see it really as a big issue. But I'm gonna try to take off a bit from the top layer. It's an asymmetrical block. Let's film this. So what I'm just doing is taking away the bulk that was creating friction on my hand block. Okay. Oh, this smells the best. I'm addicted to this stuff. Alright, are we ready? Are we zoomed in? What are we? I can do it like that. Hope you guys can see. It's hard to check on this small screen what is going on. Get some of the debris out of the way. Oh, I'm getting too old for this shit. start from scratch. Now this video is not about doing bow drills at all, but I would be happy if I can do it. Oh. Find a good stable position. Take this bloody needle away. Let's go. Long, nice strokes. Good breathing. No exertion of energy. Juicing. Filling up the notch. Okay, the notch is full. Now we're gonna bring up the temperature. Let's hold it down. Hold the heat in. I see some smoke. And the smoke went out. Oh, that's too bad. Okay, I see a lot of needles, so I can see many things. I can see light brown color in the beginning. Then I see needles. Needles is too much pressure, so less pressure I need. Brown is too little pressure, so it's very thin layer of what is possible. And I'm almost through my block, so I gotta be careful. The friction is building up on this side now. That's too bad. Yeah, it's a thin block, so I'm gonna take some away. Prevent this friction on the side, because you want friction on the bottom. Give it a final spin. And maybe carve a new one. I gotta check on my dog. So I see only one, and I hope that the other one is in her little hiding spot. She's hiding for all the flies here. She really doesn't like flies. Alright, let's give it another spin. Ooh, that's deep. Ooh, and I went through. I have to mention it rained seriously 2 days ago, so everything is slightly damp. But the sun is also out. That's another failed attempt. Or is it? Yeah. Well, you know what that means. Time for a little break. I'll be carving a new notch. I'm gonna burn it in already, so I know where to carve. And time for a drink, smoke, check on my dogs. And then we try again. But I'm happy with the tension on the rope, the friction in the hand block, and the fact that the spindle is not shooting away. The technique is there. But bow drilling is not an easy thing, and it will definitely need a few attempts to make it happen. let's see if we can drill this one in, and then I'm ready for a little break. It's very important not to exert your energy on this thing, because that happens easy. All right, tuck tuck, boom. Ready for round 2. Little launchy paunchy, enjoying the view. The other one, I think she's hiding here in this pile. I see something black. Oh, there she is. Hey, when you're in the warmest spot, baby. Yeah. Well, I'm enjoying being in the woods. I am loving it. Ah, it's a beautiful Monday. Nobody's around. Oh, let's have a sip. Playing with my new knife. Gotta be careful not to sit on wet resin. Hello. Sure is good to be outside. I'll see you guys in a bit. Well guys, the biggest trauma just happened. I hope you can see this, but I stepped on a blueberry. Oh yeah, blueberry season is on. And I'm right in a patch of it. So I see stains everywhere on my hand. This one unfortunately is not a stain. This is what happened a few days ago, 2 days ago. Shit happens, you know. Be careful with those knives. Even if you apply all the knife safety that you know, shit can still go south. And that's exactly what happened. So yeah, I'm gonna do some carving. I'm ready. Got myself a smoke, rehydrated. Oh yeah, boy. Nice. Gonna do it a little bit wider this time. Oh, I have to say it's hard to use this hand. It really is. I'll slowly chisel my way. And I forgot to put a band-aid on there before leaving home. I was just airing it out a bit. Now, I could have made it myself a bit easier, bringing the notch a bit closer. The pivot, how would you call it? The black hole. Yeah, you see, I just touched it with the back of my thumb. There we go, blood again. Hey, I think I brought a first aid kit, I'm not sure. I'm gonna check it out, give me a sec. Silly old me. Got a first aid kit. I use some speculum moss. Sphagnum moss is always good, especially if it's as dry as now. This patch was in the sun apparently. Let's see what we have. Wow, first time actually using this thing. Here we go. Here we go. Oh, nice. Good little scissor. Here you go back. Let's give you a clean too. Deal with that in a sec. Alright, here goes nothing. My hand is looking quite dirty, so when I get home, I'm gonna disinfect the stuff. Here we go. I can't bend my finger anymore. That's gonna be interesting. That's the reality of things. Now I see there are alcohol patches with this. Yeah, that would make sense. Yeah. I rarely use first aid kits. Things I do when I cut myself, and that really happens rarely, but when it happens pretty well, is I mostly find, what's it called, plantain or other medicinal plants. Yeah, yarrow is a great one, and chew it up, apply pressure, put it on there, find some broadleaves plants, wrap that around, find some grass, tie it off with that, just let that sit for some time, and then later on what I do, don't throw this away, carry it home, and later what I do is when it stopped the bleeding, or it's still slightly bleeding, I put some ash in there, often from the campfire, the really white stuff, not the charcoal, really white ash, or from a cigarette even. And that really seems to give the blood something to hold on to and to regenerate the cells. You know, when you cut yourself and you apply pressure, the wound starts immediately with trying to reattach the cells that you just split it. But it's always like to leave it bleed out a little bit. Back to carving. Is this on screen? Yeah, here we go. Because so that's why you apply pressure. It's not just to stop the bleeding, but to help the wounds reconnect, as they say. And the ash, I heard this from a guy who had an accident in the bush, and he was with the local tribe, and they used ash in the wounds. He had a big cut across his face due to a car accident, and he doesn't have a scar. And I saw pictures of the accident. He had a nasty cut on his forehead, not a scar left. So he strongly believed in the power of ash, and so do I. It's unbelievable how many things you can do with ash. So that's actually what I do. Now I'm just carving in the woods. And it's funny, I found this first aid kit today, making my bag to go, and I thought, what the hell, playing with a new knife, maybe it's wise to bring it. Man, this knife is like a precision tool. so nice to have this thin edge. My first impressions are quite good, to be honest. I do regret that it's not as sharp anymore as when I got it from Daniel. Oh, it was damn sharp back then. So I'm gonna buy me this compound, but like I said, I'm without a job right now. Can't really afford to spend €60 on compounds. It's a bit out of my budget now. I'm just happy to put some food on the table, to be honest. But that's life. Take it as it comes. Everything is temporary. Almost there. Gotta take it slow here. I don't want to get too deep. I don't want to get too wide. I don't want to get too narrow either. Well, it's nice to have a thin tip on the knife. I can go a little bit wider, judging on my previous notch. And then in the middle, you really don't want any fiber sticking out, so just try to clean that up as good as possible so your coal doesn't get stuck on it. Oh yeah. I want to give it a bit more air because I'm using a very thin spindle, so it's really quick that you create too much pressure. Oh, there she is. Ready for round number 2. Oh yeah. Let's give her a spin. So, first things first. Put this under the bloody armpit. I want this part down. I want it here. So on the outside I'm gonna spin it around, making sure that the spindle is on the outside of the bow, not on the inside, or it will jam up easier. Now you can just hold it with one hand. Now find a bloody comfortable position. Okay, so I'm installed. I'm using this leg as leverage. My arm is locked against it. And now we are slowly gonna go again. Just slowly, no need to rush. Alright, it's filled up. Let's give it some mumbo. Build up the temperature. Not enough temperature. That sucks. ever so slightly. Ever so slightly. Oh, there she goes. Fell open when I took it out. Whoa. Look how much dust is still on here. So it could collect more dust. It's too light brown. The spindle is a bit too thin. My block is a bit too thin. So we're gonna try it another time. It's still smoking though. Now the wind is picking up, so it's definitely helping with that. This was a good find. Look at the color. Ooh, that smells good. So I'm definitely keeping this one. Has some good fat wood in there. Let's play around with that for a second, shall we? Oh, my coal just died. Oh well. Next. So this is fat wood. I'm sure you know what I mean by that. Let's check the quality of it. Normally I would make more like a feather stick type thing. Very fine shavings. They really like to catch fire quite easy. Come here. So you see it's really little. Get my fire steel. There we go. So my choice, light my fire steel. That shit is amazing. And I'm enjoying this knife. So that shit will burn quite long enough for you to create a fire. I swear by fat wood. I mean fat wood, birch bark. If you're not managing those, then what the hell are you doing? This is the shizzle. Really happy with this find. It was a random tree stump. Good finds, good finds. Okay, well, let me clean this up a little bit. Let's talk about the knife, shall we? So this is a Malanika Puuko Scandi zero grind. Even though on the YouTube you hear a lot about microvex, convex edge. Nope. Scandi zero grind, and then stropped, which of course creates a convex, but it doesn't make it a convex. Like, it's so small, it's actually not microconvex. Like, and by that terminology, every knife you strop is microconvex. The spine works for sparks. Comes with the classical leather sheet. Let me show you. Let me show you. Oh yeah. Let me show you. So, leather sheet with the wooden inlay. Let me see if I can single. Oh, nice. This is the fire steel holder. This is the first time that he did this. This was on a special request of mine. I'm pretty pleased that he was willing to be flexible about it. what I do is I made a little notch on the leather, and then these are two sliding nuts. I can put some tension on there. It's hard to do this single-handedly. Let me hang you up in a tree here. There we go. So, zip. That shit is tight. So a very nice leather sheet. This part is wood, durable, and yeah, I turned this into a neck knife. It's one of my favorite things. To at least have the flexibility for that. So the paracord on the firebow is the cord from my neck. I'm gonna reattach soon. The handle is made out of birch bark layering in the traditional way, if I'm not mistaken. And it feels amazingly soft to the touch. You can compare it to cork, but then more durable. Cork is not durable, this is extremely durable. Nice and warm, great grip. Yeah, I always wanted to have a birch bark handle, so now I have it. Blade is a bit dirty. I think some of you will cringe seeing this, as I know that many people who buy this knife collect it, rarely use it. I bought this to use. What you have to know is a Puukko like this, they're extremely thin. They're not your one knife in the bush type of deal. You want a knife like this to pair up with a heavier tool, being traditionally speaking Leiku, I think it's called. Puukko and Leiku, yeah. Where are we? All right. So that's a bigger chopping blade. You use it to split wood, chop down small trees, or you use it in combination with an axe. So this type of knife you're not gonna use to split big ass firewood with notches in. You want to be very aware on what type of wood and tusks you're gonna use it. So I would, for example, when I made the parts for the firebow, I made sure there were no knots in the wood that I wanted to split. I also made sure the size fits, that it's not too wide. This is a knife, you want to be gentle with it. It works extremely well. It's like carrying a scalpel out in the bush. And that's actually what it does. If you want to skin a fish or a deer, or you want to do some wood carving, building traps, fire preparation, it can do all that, but you have to be conscious about how you use this knife. This is not a knife for beginners at all. I really do not recommend you, even if you would have a shitload of money, this is not the knife to start with. It's a Puukko. It's a craftsman's blade. It's a perfect wilderness tool in combination with a heavier tool. Today I'm not carrying an axe. I'm not carrying a Leiku because I don't have a Leiku yet. No, I'm out of work, but one day it will be. And so you have to use this with some knowledge. This is not your beginner's knife. You don't go from using Mora to straight away going into a knife like this. Doesn't mean, like, okay, maybe the cheaper Puukkos, they're awesome, but the steel sucks. I'm sorry, they just get blunt real easy. Also, that has a purpose, I feel, because if you're in the field, it makes sharpening it really easy. With this super steel though, we'll see in the next review how I feel about keeping it sharp. I am eventually gonna invest in the right stropping paste to begin with. I'm gonna stay with my DC4 CC4 stone combination because it needs to be bush proof. But I feel this is the type of knife you would put some maintenance in at home, because it is 62 hardwell steel Magnacut. It requires a different approach. I noticed that already. Like, I've been stropping it and then noticed that it became dull, and touch it up a little bit with the CC4 stone and then strop it again, and just not really getting any results with that. So I asked Daniel, like, what is his secret, and his secret is basically 1,000 to 6,000 grit Japanese stones, and then finish off with a 4-micron diamond paste, and then later on a 50-micron diamond. I'm not sure about what grades he used. I googled 2 pastes, what would be recommended. I used AI, and it recommended me in between 4 to 5 micron, and then to finish it off, the latest, the finest grit should be like 50. I see they sell them in 25. Yeah, I don't know. It needs to be bush proof. So I think 0.5. That's it. That's what I'm going for in my next setup. When I say I don't get it sharp, it means when it came out of the box, it was really razor sharp. Really like, whew, wow. Big heads off Daniel for that. Now it's not shaving sharp in the way that it's shaving my arms or legs, but it still bites through wood like a crazy motherfucker. It is still functional, sharp. Razor sharp, great for the knife geeks. I'm one of them. I always go for that finish. I'm always disappointed when I don't get it to that finish. But do you need that to have a functional tool in the woods, to carve wood, to do your processing, meat processing and all that stuff? No, you don't. Sharp is sharp. When it bites your nail, it's sharp. So that's what you're going for. If you do the nail test, that's where I'm landing at. So yeah, that's all I have to say about the knife for now. I need to get to know it a bit more intimate, spend some time with her, and see what limitations I come across, if any. Just some awareness. It's a nice tool. I love it. It's a bit early to really do an in-depth review, so I'm just gonna record some footage of the in-use of it, and parts of this video will also be in that video. So later on I'll do a more in-depth review. But yeah, I'm gonna enjoy the weather a bit. See you guys around. Take care, stay safe, have fun.